My dear students, how are you all? Welcome to English class. Today we are going to read the lesson, A Story of Self-Sacrifice and Bravery. Many people become engineers, doctors, IAS officers, film stars and so on. But few become human. Yes, my dear students, most of the parents try to create a passion to their children to become doctors, lawyers, engineers, IAS, IPS, IFS officers, and so on. But do they really tell their children to be a good human being? Parents must educate their children the fundamental human qualities like honesty, integrity, courage, self awareness, and wholeheartedness. These qualities define who we are as human beings. Students, see these pictures. Can you tell who are they and what are they doing? Yes, you are right. They are helping others. A boy is helping a senior citizen to cross the road. Soldiers are rescuing people during natural disaster. Mother Teresa is feeding a boy. Students, do you know soldiers have many duties to perform? They have to work selflessly for the betterment of the country. They ensure that peace and harmony are maintained throughout the nation. Moreover, they also remain vigilant at all times and render help in case of emergency situations. Students, have you ever heard about the sacrifice of Mother Teresa? Mother Teresa built homes for orphans, nursing homes for lepers, and hospices for the terminally ill in Kolkata. She educated the poorest of the poor and fed the homeless. At this present situation, have you heard about the corona warriors? The doctors, paramedics, policemen, sanitation workers, and others engaged in different duties in the fight against COVID-19 are called corona warriors. They work day and night to liberate the country from coronavirus. The bravery shown by these warriors while fighting coronavirus is certainly venerable. Students, I would like to give answers for few questions. What makes a person a hero? A person becomes a hero if he or she risks his or her life for the sake of others. How do heroes make a difference? A hero is a person of distinguished courage and ability. They are admired for their brave deeds and noble qualities. Does every hero have to fight or risk their life? No, not every hero has to fight or risk his life. If he values humanity and does his best, he is a hero. Okay, students, now let us read a true incident which took place in the year 1986. Section 1, Pan Am Flight 73. It was the morning of September 5, 1986. The aircraft Pan Am Flight 73 with 360 passengers on board had just arrived from Mumbai and was ready to depart from Jinnah International Airport in Karachi for its destination, the United States. Unfortunately, the flight was hijacked by 4 heavily armed terrorists while it was parked at Karachi Airport. Meaning for destination is landing place. Hijacked, illegally seized control of an aircraft, shape, etc. Terrorist, someone who uses violent action or threats of violent action for political purposes. Unfortunately, sadly, depart to leave a place usually at the beginning of a journey. The Pan Am Flight 73 aircraft with 360 passengers on board, which had just arrived from Mumbai on 5th September in the year 1986, was unfortunately hijacked by four heavily armed terrorists while it was ready to depart from Jinnah International Airport in Karachi for its destination. The passengers on the plane hailed from different countries. There were Indians, Germans, Americans, and Pakistanis, among others. The terrorists were more intent on targeting the Americans. When Nirja was told to collect the passports of the passengers, Nirja managed to hide their passports and discard them down the rubbish chute. The meaning for hailed is originated. Intent, aim. Target, pick out, choose or select. Discard, throw away. Shoot, funnel. The passengers were Indians, Germans, Americans, Pakistanis, and others. The terrorists were more intent on targeting the Americans. Nirja, a senior flight purser, was asked to collect the passport of the passengers. She managed to hide and throw them down the rubbish chute. With her help, at least 39 American passengers were saved out of 41. The hijackers wanted to fly to Israel and crash the plane against a building. On being confronted with this unexpected calamity, Nirja immediately sprang into action. She attempted first and foremost to alert the pilots in the cockpit of the hijacked plane so that they could save themselves. Meaning for confronted is faced. Calamity, a sudden event causing great damage or distress. Cockpit, compartment where a pilot sits. She saved at least 39 American passengers out of 41. The hijackers wanted to fly to Israel and crash the plane against a building. Nirja immediately sprang into action when she faced this unexpected calamity. Nirja alerted the pilots in the cockpit of the hijacked plane so that they could save themselves. When the terrorists saw that they assaulted her, she then passed on the warning in a code which alerted the pilots. As per the mandate, they made an escape through the alternate exit so that the terrorists were at a loss of pilots who could be forced to fly the plane to the terrorists' desired location. Meaning for assaulted is attacked violently. Mandate and official order. When the terrorists saw Nirja alerting the pilots, they attacked her violently. She then passed on the warning in a code which alerted the pilots. Responding to her warning, the pilots escaped through an alternative exit. The terrorists were at a loss of pilots. They were not able to reach their desired location. The nightmare on the aircraft continued for long. The frustration and helplessness of the terrorists grew every hour and their patience was running out. 17 hours into the hijack, the plane ran out of power. The terrorists lost their cool and opened fire on the passengers. Armed with grenades, plastic explosive belts, and pistols, the terrorists raised hell on board. Meaning for nightmare is unpleasant and frightening dream. Frustration means the feeling of annoyance when one's actions are prevented from progressing or succeeding. Grenades, missiles. The nightmare on the aircraft continued for long. The frustration and helplessness of the terrorists grew every hour. They became impatient. After 17 hours of the hijack, the plane ran out of power. The terrorists were armed with grenades, plastic explosive belts, and pistols. They started to fire the passengers, and there was confusion on board. Taking advantage of the chaos and the terrorists' senselessness, Neerja leapt into action at this point of time. She shed all her hesitation and fears and worked her way around, evacuating as many passengers as she could. She could have run away, for she knew the escape routes well. But she didn't. She waited selflessly in the face of death to help the ones around her. Chaos means confusion. Evacuating to move people from a dangerous place to somewhere safer. Taking advantage of the confusion, Neerja leapt into action. She shed all her hesitation and fears. She worked her way around, helping to save as many passengers as she could. Students, she could have escaped, but she didn't. She waited selflessly in the face of death to help others. Oh, what a bold and selfless girl she was. Students, here is a sketch of Pan Am Flight 73 that had been hijacked by the terrorists in the year 1986. The flight had doors on both the sides from 1 to 5. The hijackers entered the plane, and even the body of Rajesh Kumar, one of the passengers, was dumped from the door 1 on the left side. Neerja used intercom to alert the pilots from door 4 on the left side. Nupur and Madhvi escaped by sliding off the wing from door 3 on the right side. Masi, Dilip, Sunshine, Shireen and others escaped through emergency slide from the right side. The pilots and flight engineers escaped through the hatch above the cockpit from the second floor on the left side. As she was about to exit herself, she noticed 3 children who were left in the flight. They needed her help in escaping. As the brave heart rescued the kids, she was hit by the bullets fired by one of the terrorists. The wounds inflicted were fatal, and Neerja eventually succumbed to them. By a cruel twist of fate, this heroic young girl passed away. Meaning for inflicted is caused something unpleasant to be suffered by. Fatal, deadly. Succumbed, yielded or surrendered. As she was about to exit herself, she noticed 3 children in the flight who needed her help to escape. As a brave heart, she rescued the kids, but she was hit by the bullets fired by the terrorists. This heroic young girl passed away as the wounds were fatal. Students, her brother Anish Banot recalls how one day her mother had picked this topic and told Neerja that she must save herself in case a hijack ever took place on a Pan Am flight, the airlines that Neerja was working for. To this, young Neerja told her mother, "I will die but not run away." Neerja had asked her mother to never think this way again, for she was determined not to be a coward in such a situation, and she lived up to her word. Okay, students, we have completed section 1 from the lesson, A Story of Self-Sacrifice and Bravery. I will meet you in the next class. Till then, obey your parents. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.